For the latest top tips, reviews and advice, please subscribe below.
Hello and welcome to Attwoolls Outdoors with me, Mike. Today I'm giving you a review on a brand new driveway awning from Vango. So over here today I've got the Vango Versos Air. So the Versos Air is a bit of a hint to kind of the name of it, of why it's called the Versos. Basically means it's the most versatile awning that Vango do. Now, the best way to probably sort of understand this is in more of like a modular design. So what we've got here is a sort of main hub, and then with a built-on front canopy. Now, pretty much all the panels can zip off, and you can zip on top of them as well. So the joys means that you can actually pitch it exactly how you want to, as a setup you want to. And there's actually 18 different configurations of how it looks, and we'll go through that in a little bit later. But we'll start off with kind of the idea of it. What Vango wanted to create is really one awning that could fit any needs. Didn't matter what vehicle you had, and also kind of what side your sliding door was. They wanted something that was really nice and versatile, that would fit in the same manner on one side as it would the other. Available with the awning is basically, as concluded, a bedroom part at the back, so you can sleep two guests up here really quite nice and neatly. The main body of it is about 2.5 by 2.5 meters, and you have an extra kind of canopy section, which is a good sort of metre 20, and the tunnel section's about 1 metre deep. So headline news, so in its entirety length out, as you see it here, is 3.5 meters. So it's a good sort of size. It's not going to be too much on a pitch, but it goes about, I think it's about 4 meters 30 in length. So it's a really nice long pitch, and you're losing all the space along the van. It's available in kind of two heights, so two connection heights. We do a low, which is designed to fit vehicles like this we've got here, which is basically attachment heights of 180 to 210, whereas the mid is from 215 to 255. So really nice bracket, and again, like I said, really nice and versatile. There's lots of sort of unique features to the actual Versos, and we'll start with the headline news and go into more in-depth stuff if that's okay. So first and foremostly, it's quick and easy to pitch. It's inflatable, apart from one fiberglass pole for the bedroom section. I pitched the whole thing as we see it here on my own in about sort of 13 minutes, so it's very quick and easy to do. Great for sort of weekend use or even longer stays if you need to. It's inflatable, so you've got Vango's air beam sort of collection. There's one inflation point for the central hub, and an additional one for the front canopy beam, and then you just annex goes on the back. One fiberglass pole, very easy to use. But the joys of this actually is you don't have to have, have the annex on it as such. You can just zip that on and off as you need to. So really what you kind of have is a small 2.5 by 2.5 meter space with an open canopy. So if you look in kind of Vango's range, it imitates kind of a cove in a way. Then what you can do is you can have the tunnel section so it's on the back. So what happens is the canopy's facing out sort of from the van rather than alongside the van. So again, you've got that kind of, if you remember kind of the name escapes me now, like a Keeler or a Tolga, kind of that kind of design. Cruise, that was the name of it. Alternatively, again, you can actually have it facing the back of the van, this tunnel section, because you pick which side the actual attachment is actually on. And actually, let's show you that scenario it's set. So canopy at the front, side and back. So of course that's the idea of that as well. And what you can also benefit from is, of course, if you didn't want to, you'll have that sleeping pod at the back. You can put it up for a night, take it down for a night and use that space, or take the inner bedroom that comes out with it and use it as storage. And again, in all those three scenarios, it looks something like this. And again, what you can do is actually play around with the annex. So you haven't got to have it directly off the back. Of course, what you can do is have it off the side. So you can have it coming directly out of here. I mean, realistically, I'd probably say you're not going to, just because you're really extend your pitch, but you have got the option to it. I think, for example, if you had the canopy facing out that way, having the annex on either side works really nicely. You can't buy any bits extra, so it's not like you can buy an extra annex at this moment in time. That may change in the next few years, but Vango kind of really try to put this into their flagship model because again, it sort of ticks every box. One configuration, you can sort of make and choose what you want to go with. what they're using actually really is their kind of it's their Sentinel 150D fabric. So it's a really nice strong 150 denier, so it's a good waterproof level, about 3000mm high slate head, so it's well and waterproof. But more importantly, actually, with the material itself, is they've gone through a process of in a dyeing stage to basically enhance colour retention. What they do is actually dye the thread before it's woven into the material. Now the benefit of this actually is the fact that what you have a difference between, say, a carrot and in a radish. Your carrot is kind of the new construction we got this morning, where you cut it a carrot in half, you have the colour all the way through to the centre. Your radish is probably how, when you weave the fabric and then dye it, how you get through. So you cut it in half, radish has the colour on the outside but pure white on the inside. Now this is important because as a life of the product goes on, the UV on basically sunlight strips away that outer coating and sort of degrades the fabric, makes it very brittle. And as you're out, sort of taking that outer coating off, you're getting the core colour come through. So in this new kind of colour retention, eco colour lock, as they call it, what happens is it looks sharper for longer. And more importantly, this process actually saves a lot of water. So again, it's more eco-friendly, hence kind of the eco colour lock title. A manual pump comes supplied standardly with it. Really nice. It's quite a high quality pump as well. It's not sort of a basic one where you may get with other brands. The pressure gauge on top there, 7 psi is the recommendation. They've only got the main hub and the front part to do, with the annex done separately. Also, things to point out is the fact that you've got colour coordinated sort of guiding point webbing straps on the bottom here. As you see, that little orange flares, and that's kind of allows you to focus on which main points when you spread out you want to peg first. You've also sort of two-tone, again, kind of guy ropes, and the kind of orange and that just touched into detail of the from the Versos looks really quite smart. And again, because you've got a kind of dome style, it does feel quite roomy inside, and we'll come to that in just 1 second. Every single panel on the Versos has the same kind of construction. So whether it be the front side, the one into the main sort of awning door, and in this one, you have what they call the multi-door. So you've got a full mesh panel. Behind that, then you've got your PVC sort of curtain. It's window, sorry. So what that gives is you've got breathability with the mesh. When it rains, you can see that from the inside, so you still get the vision out. And then behind that, again, you then got a zip-up curtain. So you can really maximise between what you want to achieve. And again, the joys of this being is that even on a warm day, you can have this as basically a gazebo. And because the actual tunnel section itself zips off from the main body, again, you can treat this like a gazebo. So that's where I feel it's not necessarily just an awning. It's actually something you could use as a tent, because you don't need the tunnel section. It would be sort of bedroom section and the front section at the back, but then you can attach it to the awning as and when you need to. You can use it as a gazebo, so you basically remove the bedroom section at the back, you remove the tunnel, you can remove the sides all roll to the side, and then it's nice open, obviously just with a little canopy. So there's really lots of different sort of scenarios and options you can use it in. And because also the tunnel sips off, if you've got obviously like a rail system, or even if you actually haven't, there's no real need to buy a fixing kit. So what you find here is that, unless you've got a wind out, of course, you can feed it directly into a normal C rail, so like a Vamus rail or Rema rail, really, because when you come to drive away, all you do actually is then just unzip it from the main body of the awning, rather than attaching it from the van. Once you obviously undone that zip on the awning, that tunnel section will slide out. You can basically park back up, slide it back in, and then re-zip it. So you're not having to sort of pull the fabric to sort of insert parts. So again, it's a little bit more thoroughly done. You've still got the main 4 connection methods to the vehicle as well. So you've still got your cater strip, 6mm cater strip, which goes into a normal C rail. You of course would have to buy a fixing kit if you wanted to go into a wind out, just because it's a slightly different size beading. So that's your option 1. Option 2 is there's a little sleeve, so you can feed a pole into that and clamp it into a gutter rail. So if you wanted again, have like a Vamus rail or a Rema rail, you can use a clamp system on that. You've also got little Velcro tabs, so you've got roof bars like I have here. You can just Velcro it around the roof bars, and that's good to go. And then finally, more simplistic way of just storm straps over the top of the vehicle. They'll take it over the top of the van and peg down in the ground on the other side. And that way, again, you've still got the versatility of doing what you want to do with it. You've got 2 tunnel doors on each section, so the front and the back, so I haven't got to go into the main body of the awning to get into the van, so that's also a really nice bonus. And also we've got webbing straps to make sure it's not too far away. The guy ropes help to give a great extra torsion to it, and because the doors kind of open from right to left and left to right, you can, doesn't matter, like I said, if you've got like a California where your sliding door is on the driver's side, or a European van for that matter, because you can orientate it where you want to go, and the panels open up from left to right and right to left, which will mimic your sliding door depending on which side it goes. Hopefully that makes sense. But I'll tell you what, let's actually bring ourselves round into the awning and talk through a few more features that the Versos has to offer. So now we're kind of swinging ourselves around, you can appreciate kind of this canopy depth. So, like I said, 2.5 meters, but due to kind of the pre-angled shape of the beams, it's actually quite spacious here now. I can stand up in here quite happily in the middle, but even to a certain degree towards the sides. And certainly if you've got like a table and chairs, well, certainly the chairs, you can sort of sit out here on an evening quite happily. The main reason for obviously the canopy is to protect this front door. So whether it's raining, when it's not raining, you're not having the rain driving in. It means you can still utilise the mesh panel that's obviously built into the main panel itself. Another key point that I do really quite like is the fact that not only can you open the doors whichever way you fancy, but every single, you going in? Or not? No, okay. So every single base of door actually fully zips. So it zips on there, so it's a real thoroughfare. So when you are zipped in, you have got the best kind of bug-free environment you can possibly get to. And like I said, because you can, in fact, I will show you. I'm going to get trapped. So, as you can see here, we've got the PVC window in place. So let's drop down. Where's my little zipper? There it is. So again, that can drop down, and then you've just got pure mesh there. So when you want to, you can also just get the privacy. So that's breathability, that's your vision, and then for privacy, you've then got another curtain situated behind that in the third layer, which zips up. So you do it halfway, of course, fully up to the top. So again, lots of different options with that. Of course, as I was just showing you, open the panel up. Now it doesn't actually detach the panel, so you're going to roll it to the side. Now we can see the sewn in ground sheet in the actual awning itself. The other thing that's quite nice as well is because of the door situation, what you can actually do is this lip can drop down. There's little toggle points just located down here. So then you've got a flat entrance into, thank you Archie, into every side. So again, that works really quite nicely. In the main hub, we've got a little hanging point located in the centre to keep it really nice and strong. And then as you can see here, I've got the bedroom set up currently in the back, and the bedroom again zips directly the base fit to the ground sheet. And the inner bedroom comes included standard. You get two people pretty much sort of crossways that way. And even in its own little door. So you can still keep it open. They've got the privacy. There's a big mesh panel at the top there as well. So you can, again, for breathability purposes, that works really nicely. Like that, voila. And even in the bedroom section here, we have got little storage pockets. So not only we've got a pocket kind of the main bedroom door goes into, but little storage pockets located on the side. I'll bring the camera in just one moment. So the fact, let's bring it in now, then you probably get a bit of a better feel for it in its own sense. So, in fact, let's go around this way first. So you can see kind of the canopy depth and as we come through. Sewn in ground sheet, so it's really nice and sort of thorough. So I haven't got to worry about it because it zips on the bottom. It's better than things like, say, like the Cayman from Outdoor Rev, because it just toggles in the corner. It's not as thorough. Mesh directly through there. It's really nice and fine mesh, the perfect sort of midges and that sort of stuff. Hanging point, like I said, for lantern located at the top. The bedroom section we've got located there as well. As we kind of come in, storage pockets either side of the bedroom down the bottom. Even a hanging point in the front in here as well for a lantern for most likely could be probably kids, or you know, if you want to get away from your partner, by all means crack on. And then again here, we're into the tunnel section. So as I previously mentioned, there is kind of tunnel doors on either side. Keeps it really nice and neat. And again, the actual tunnel section itself is about 2.40 meters deep. So you can open the tunnel section fully within that, providing you pitch your awning correctly. And one thing I do quite like as well You should store little tabs if you want to roll the section away. There's also a little hanging point here, which I'm assuming is going to be for a lantern for some reason. But one of the crucial things I will mention actually is when you're kind of pitching the model, because there's so many zips, the way you waterproof zips is by using Velcro and tape. So you can see here, you've got an extra bit of taping. It's like a little plastic part. So it's very kind of crucial at this point here that you make sure that is tucked underneath the zip, and then the Velcro part, which is there, Velcro is on. It's basically so the water, when it comes in, it sort of deflects away from the zips, because the zips itself aren't waterproof. So you can see you almost got to like run your hand down to tuck it all in. In the tunnel section here, again, this is what we're talking about, different attachments. So you can see the little Velcro tabs, these little clips, your pole for the sleeve, that there, and then obviously it's directly into the rail to look it quite nice and sharp. This is a low model, so my vehicle height is about 2 meters, just shy underneath. So it's got a little bit of tension still to go in there, but for lower VWs, and because you've got again to pinpoint the height, water's going to drain off quite nicely. But we'll head around. I think when you look at that from the side, just how sharp I feel that looks. It's a really nice bit of kit. And again, like I say, you don't have to use the bedroom section at the back here. So again, I think that just helps to make it look all hunky-dory. It's not, unfortunately, quite wide enough. Sorry, the tunnel section is a little bit too wide to use it on the roof, back of the roof. I will, he says, give it a go though. But all in all, I think it's quite a nice little awning. Something a bit different, something to kind of look at. But I mean, of course, as per usual, if you have any more questions or queries, feel free to contact us via a link below. Comment in the box below. It's always great to have feedback, good, bad, or ugly from yourself. But I think all in all, it's quite a really nice, exciting awning. And the joys of it, obviously, being it so multi-purpose, be it, like I said, you can use it for a gazebo, a tent, an awning. You change your vehicle, you can still, you know, in theory, you could buy an extra tunnel. Not available at the moment, but who knows in the future. Then you haven't got to change the whole awning and the whole concept. And I think, yeah, just again, the versatility nature of it, having main space, you will need a bit more, you put the annex up, I think works all around. And then for the price point, you're already getting that for as well, which I've not even mentioned, I think it's really good value. So all in all, yeah, really quite impressed with the Versos. And I really do think it's going to be one that's going to be very sought after, and I believe a limited amount as well. So yeah, that's a little video review of the Vango Versos. Check out our pitching video as well to show me showing you how easy, quick and simple it is to pitch. But all in all, more information from pack sizes, floor dimensions, the different scenarios with the floor plans, and each alternative way you can go, you can check that out via our website. So thank you very much for watching. Hopefully we'll see you again soon in our next Attwoolls Outdoors videos reviews.